Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss about The Sound and the Fury, written in 1929 by William Faulkner, 1897 to 1963. William Faulkner is known for his novels and short stories. The book is written from the point of view of four different narrators. The first one is Benchy, the youngest of the Campson family, Quintin, the oldest, Jason, the middle son, and an omniscient third-person narrator. So the story is mainly about the downward spiral Campson family goes through after Katie, a daughter in the family, mothers a child of wedlock. After this happens, various family members go through different hardship, including death. Here are the characters of the story. First one is Jason Campson III, the cynical and detached father. Caroline Campson, the winning, selfish, neurotic mother. The next one is Quentin Campson, the oldest son, who is overly sensitive of his sister's sin, and he commits suicide by drowning on June 2, 1910. Next one is Candice Campson, the only Campson daughter. Her promiscuity is one of the central narrative concerns of the novels. Next one is Jason Campson IV, the last male Campson, since he will probably never marry. The next one is Benjamin, the youngest of the Campson children, whose name is changed when he's divorced, that he is severely retarded. The next one is Miss Quintin, Katie's daughter, was born too soon after her mother's wedding and who is reared by the Campson. The next one is Delcy Gibson, the black cook whose task is to bring order out of the sound and the fury created by the Campson. So now let's proceed to the summary of the story. Structure: The Sound and the Fury is divided into four sections. The first three are presented from the perspective of the three Campson sons: Benjamin, the idiot, Quintin, the suicidal student, and Jason, the failed businessman. So the fourth section has a third-person omniscient narrator. All but the second section are set in fictional Yuknapatawpha Country, Mississippi in April 1928. Now we're going to discuss about the first section. The event of the first section of The Sound and the Fury take place some 17 years after Katie's departure. The first section is notoriously difficult to read. Its narrator, Benji, has an intellectual disability. The precise character of his disability is not known. He is sometimes called a loony or more commonly an idiot. Evidently, his disability affects his ability to speak. He only communicates by moaning. So Benji cannot talk. He has a ability to speak. That's why he communicates by moaning. So it is also distorts his sense of time, such that he cannot distinguish between the past and the present. Benji experiences all times as the present and thus narrates all events, including and especially memories of the past events, as though they occur in the present, unbeknownst to him. The events he narrates as the present actually span a 30-year period from 1898 to 1928. Benji's section opens on April 7, 1928. In the first scene of the novel, Benji and his caretaker, Luster, search for a lost quarter near a fetch golf course. Benji, following Luster, climbs through a break in the fence and gets caught on a nail. The sensation reminds him of all earlier time in 1902 when Katie uncaught him and led him through the fence. This memory provokes another. Benji remembers visiting a cemetery to see the graves of his father and brother in the year 1912 or 1913. A Nairobi golfers call for his KD, recalls more memories of KD. Benji remembers KD's wedding in 1910 and KD's leaving in 1911, and also the sight of KD's muddy underwear the day of his grandmother's funeral in 1898. So in the present action, Benji and Lester return to Nakamson house. There, they see Katie's daughter, Miss Quintin, embracing a boy on a swing. Benji remembers seeing Katie embracing a boy on the same swing some time ago in 1908 or 1909. For a moment, mother and daughter become indistinguishable to Benji. Then, Miss Quintin sees and snaps at him. As Benji enters the Campson house, his thoughts turn to his castration several years earlier and to the events leading up to the loss of Katie's virginity in 1909. His section ends in his room 30 years before it began, with the memory of Katie holding him on the night she mudded her underwear in 1898 rather. So the second section commences on June 2, 1910 in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where its narrator, Quentin, attends Harvard University. Although Quentin has no intellectual disability, Quentin's section, like Benji's, oscillates between the past and present. The actions of the present are Quintin's as he prepares to commit suicide. Quintin's preparations are partly practical and partly symbolic. Writing letters to his loved ones, purchasing weights with which to drown himself, and visiting the nearby Charles River Bridge where he will eventually commit suicide. Quentin's present actions are set against his memories of case events in his lives, most of which involve Katie or Katie's lover. A few memories predominate: the memory of night Katie lost her virginity to Dalton Ames, and the memory of his confrontation with Dalton upon the discovery of Katie's pregnancy. The memory of his meeting fiancé, the banker Sidney Herbert, head whom Katie marries, despite her pregnancy, by another man, and the memory of conversation with his father, in which Quentin claimed he committed incest with his sister, though he did not. Um, it is implied that Quentin's memories in these four, in particular, compel his suicide. Quentin's suicide is not narrated. His section ends as he walks out of his dorm. So, I've never seen in the stories how Quentin commits suicide. So, the third person of the Sound and the Fury returns to Yukon country in the year 1928. These sections, Jason sections, is set one day before the first on April 6, 1928. Unlike the previous two, Jason's section is straightforward and for the most part linear. It chronicles his present activities and interactions, both of the Campson house and the farm supply store where he works. So the focal points of his narration is his 17 years old niece, Miss Quintin, who, as Jason describes her, is very most like her mother: headstrong, rebellious, and promiscuous. Jason disdains Miss Quintin, and yet he relies on her for money. Each month, Katie sends Miss Quintin a $200 check, which Jason intercepts and keeps for himself. For nearly 15 years, Jason has kept up this seemed undiscovered until April 6, 1928, when Katie sends a money order. It is requiring a signature in a place of a check, and Miss Quintin at last learns about her uncle's subterfuge steal Jason without the money. So the fourth section is the novel picks up on April 8, 1928, 2 days after Jason's section and 1 day after Benji's. The fourth section is narrated in the third person, focuses primarily on Delcy. So the Camson Black Servant, so Delcy is the Camson Black Servant. On the morning of April 8, The author narrator observes Delcy performing her um, course chores rather, as usual in the Thompson house. As she prepares breakfast, Delcy talks to Lester, who tells her that someone broke into Jason's bedroom the night before. Moments later, it is discovered that Miss Quintin not only broke Jason's window, but entered his bedroom, found her mother's money, stole it back, and fled the house. Jason, furious, goes to chase her but ultimately fails to catch her. So, why did Quentin do that? It's because Jason steal the money from which is it is intended for her. So that's why Miss Quintin stole it back. That's why that money is belong to her. In Jason's absence, Delcy, Lester, and Benji attend Easter service at Delcy's church. The visiting minister preaches about redemption, and Delcy, thinking of the Camson and the events of the morning, begins to cry. She reflects, I've said the first and the last. I see the beginning, and now I see the ending. Delcy words foretell and the ends of the novel. Soon after, Faulkner brings it to an even full inclusive close. So that's the end of the story. So here are the themes of the story. The first one is the time. The themes in the Sound and the Fury are so closely interwoven with the characters and structures of the novel that it's difficult to separate these elements in all four sections of the novels. However, time is an important theme that Faulkner develops. The central characters of four sections each cope with time in different way. The next one is the pride. Pride is the unknowing of the Campson family. The loss of their property and status demoralizes the elder Campson, Caroline and Jason III, the parents of Benji, Quentin, Jason, and Katie. Out of their sense of family pride and their economic and social decline, they turn inward. So the next one is love and passion. Natural and unnatural love among siblings, love between the sexes, and Christians' love are themes that pervade the Sound and the Fury. Faulkner shows the love in the Campson brothers have for Katie. So the last one is sanity and insanity. The contrast between Benji and Jason reflects a theme of sanity and insanity in the Sound and the Fury. An idiot who does not comprehend reality, Benji displays a world in chaos through his monologue. So that's the end of our discussion for today. That's all. Thank you.